Please, 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 please work. That is one beautiful sight. It's way too early to be not working. You're probably thinking, what time is it, T? Well, oh my God. It is 6. I woke up around 5:30. There's the sunrise. Woke up about 5:30 and thought to myself, let's get Vlogmas up and out. Another blessed day, you guys. I'm listing all of the products that I shared with you guys on my video. So I'm just kind of doing the last bits and getting that up out to you guys. Well, good morning on this Saturday, Vlogmas day number 16. I felt like someone must have kicked me in my butt this morning because I woke up at 5:30 ready to go. I mean, I published my Vlogmas day number 15 with my Sephora haul. Oh, I just love all the stuff that I got. So make sure you guys watch that. And then I just did some opening up some of my mail. I put stamps on all my Christmas cards. I'm here at the post office. It is 8:30. I'm already showered. I'm dressed. I'm ready to go, which is so unusual. Before even 8 o'clock, people. And there are people standing in line already. And this post office doesn't open up until about 9, but there are people literally in line with their packages already. So that kind of gets me a little bit alarmed because I do have some packages that I need to send out. So, but it says I have until December 19th. But anywho, I made a grocery list because I want to go to Safeway early this morning so I can get that off my list today. I felt like I didn't get as much accomplished yesterday, but you know, that just happens. That happens. I feel like I've been on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go. And then yesterday, I think my mom was just tired and I just like basically just went but we all have those days and it's okay, and I'm not gonna stress out about it because you know, this is real life. Although I hate it when other people say this is real life. Well, duh, it's life. I guess in a way there are some people who kind of probably most likely prop things and you know, kind of act things out and blah blah, but anyhow, I am who I am and I have good days, I have bad days. I'm just like an ordinary person just like you. You know, it's just that sometimes when I do my vlogs, I can pick and choose what I want to share with you. But on this Vlogmas, I feel like I am sharing a little bit more with you. So that's a bonus, right? Mom is super snoring right now, but don't tell her I said that. It is cold. It's like about 50 degrees right now. And it's going to be supposedly supposed to be, remember with the 50-mile-per-hour gust wind? There's no wind. It's not even windy. What's up with that, weather people? So I'm really hoping that the weather is going to work with our schedule because I really want to take my mom out today, do some Christmas shopping because she's a little worried. You know, she wants to make sure that she gives everyone a gift and everything. So I think she's really looking forward to that today. So, and I think maybe that's why she wanted to rest up yesterday so that she can be, you know, ready to go today. So I got up, I wanted to get things done. I put some stamps on my Christmas cards. I'm here at the post office and I'm sure people are going to be looking at me like, what is she doing in her car? I vlog. Anywho, so I'm headed over to the grocery store right now. I want to get that off my list and then let's see what else I can do today. I don't know. I feel like after one cup of coffee, I'm good. I'm ready to go. So let's put this sleigh to drive and let's head out. Well, all right. I started to put the garland up there and I have to add some stuff up there too, and just kind of doing a little bit here and there. And I'm dusting, so I dusted and all that good jazz there. Got my candle going and cleaning all at the same time. I'm gonna have to definitely vacuum after this. I mean, I feel like maybe this is why I was putting everything off. I wish I can go decorate. Oh boy. Alright, let me continue on cleaning as I am going. And then Kitty decided to jump up, and of course I have to give her some cuddle time. So I'm gonna take a break and kind of watch maybe 1 or 2 YouTube videos as I'm decorating. Okay, making progress. These are all like floral stuff, craft stuff. Kind of organize those. This is now garbage that was in that bin, and then all of this is going to be donate. Just stuff, random stuff I don't want anymore. Maybe someone else can make something out of these.
It's the only day they probably have to do it. Last day of shopping.
Well, hi guys, I'm all cozied up now. Mom and I, today's just been, I'm always saying today's always been one of those days, but seriously, it's been just like a whirlwind with my mom. I did her morning routine, and as you guys saw, I went to the post office, I went to the grocery store, came back. I actually decorated some of the house. I'm not done yet, so I'll show you later. And I had to stop, switch gears, put on my caregiver hat, and I had to get my mom ready, so I gave her a sponge bath and got her all bundled up and everything. And then her and I took her down to Kohl's to do some of her Christmas shopping. So she found a lot of great deals, you guys. I mean, she found some great, awesome deals. I was so impressed. So we scored like, I think about 5 or 6 gifts. So I think now she only has like 2 or 3 more to do, and those are just gift cards. So she's doing she did great. So it was just her and I, and we kind of braved the windstorm out there. It wasn't too bad though. It wasn't like really cold, and I swear anytime I take my mom out, it's like Mother Nature just gives us like the ideal weather for her. If it's raining and then I take her out, it stops enough for us to do what we need to do, and then when we get back, it's like the rain continues. Today it's been really windy finally, and it was really blowing. It blew some of the side gate open. It blew some of my plant around. It blew our rain gutter drain pipe thing off our house in the side gate. So I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't take her out. But soon as we were ready and we went into the van, it's like the wind just died down. It was strange. So I'm telling you, Mother Nature works for my mom and I. But we had a great time. We really enjoyed just strolling around Kohl's and all that. I think she really enjoyed herself. So I'm just tired. I mean, it just takes a lot, you know, to do this by myself. And Jay wasn't with us this time, but I don't think he has enough patience to be in Kohl's. So anyways, so came home and we had dinner, and now she is now watching the Ex-Wives Club, I think it's called, with Diane Keaton and Goldie Hawn and Bette Midler. So she's watching that. I hear her giggling every now and then. So I figure I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and I'm going to get to some of those Q&A questions. Now, I only got 3 questions, so this won't take long. And then I'm going to get myself all ready to go to bed because I am that tired. Alrighty. So let me put on my spectacles. So that's better. Okay, first question from Michelle, my friend Michelle, from My Everyday Wife Life, which I'm sure you guys have already subscribed to her, and if you haven't, go and check out her channel. So her question is, question for you for your Q&A: how long have you and hubby been married, and what is your love story? Okay. Well, you know, Jay and I, okay, I'm gonna try to, I don't want to make this so long, but basically my next door neighbor is my best friend, and she had told me about this boy that she started having a crush on. in catechism. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, he's in my in one of your classes. And we were in junior high. And I thought, okay. So she's like, well, just see what he does during class. So I did. And then what do you know, I started hanging out with him and his best friend, and then it was him and his best friend, me and my best friend. And Jay was just a comedian. He was like a class clown. He just made us laugh all the time. And I think it was in 8th grade, he asked me to dance or something like that. And I remember he was totally trembling. It was our last dance, 8th grade dance. And right then and there, I guess he liked me, and he had this crush on me. So during that whole summer, this boy would be riding around his bike, coming over. I mean, any chance he could get, he'd be always knocking on my door, whatever. And thankfully, my best friend, she ended up liking some other boy or whatever. So she was like, yeah, you can have him, whatever. And I didn't really like him too much. I mean, I thought he was great. I thought he was funny he was, and he still is. That's just the way he is. So when we started high school, our freshman year, he would sneak in a single rose or a carnation into my locker. I know. So every morning I'd go to school and I'd open up my book locker, and there'd always be a rose from him. And he just never stopped. I mean, he was so determined. And so one thing led to the other, and boom, we were high school sweethearts, first love. I mean, I don't know, there was something that always attracted us. And even though after high school we kind of tried to go separate ways, somehow we always ended up going back to each other. And Jay always says, it's destiny that you and I are together. And I was like, yeah, okay. But then we both, dated other people. We tried, and it just didn't work out with other people. And here we are. We're married. We've been married for now 17 years. And I can honestly say that we have been together since 1984, 85. Yeah, so that's kind of our love story, and we're still going strong too. I mean, I think we have a really great marriage, and he still continues making me laugh. Okay, next question. I know it's from Angie. Let me see if I can find your question. Angie Nicholas, she also has a YouTube channel, so go check out her channel if you can. Let's see. Okay, oh, here it is. Okay. Before you started staying at home with your mom, what did you do for a living? And if you could, would you go back to it? Love your vlogs. Thank you, Angie. Well, I was in HR management. I was an interim HR director and an HR manager in a hospital. I had worked in HR for a very long time. I think since 94, I believe. I kind of just fell right into it, and I climbed my way up in management all the way to an interim manager when my own manager was out on maternity leave. And I think there I've gained a lot of respect within my colleagues, and I was part of the executive management on all the meetings, so I felt like I played a big part with the big boys, if that makes sense. I worked at a private hospital. I worked at a nonprofit hospital. I've also which is interesting, I've also worked in a mental health hospital. And I think with all of that experience, I think that really helped me far as with my mom's care and just being her advocate, because I knew the ins and outs of healthcare and how a hospital runs. And let me tell you, I did use that card well. I mean, I used it to the best advantages as I could. And bringing back my mom here in California, I knew my network. I had I had already established good relationships with my fellow physicians, neurologists that I've known and worked with. I mean, so I was very blessed at that point. My former manager is always calling to see if I'm ever willing or able to return back to work, which is always, you know, that's always so nice. And, just a lot of responsibility, and I'm not too sure if I really want all of that again. I think though that I still would love to stay in healthcare, only because I feel that I now have a new appreciation, I guess, in a way that I would have on the other side as being like a patient now and going through everything. I understand the whole behind the scenes of, you know, what our nurses had gone through, or even our physicians. I have a total different type of understanding, if that makes sense. So at that point, I kind of get excited to return back into healthcare. So I don't know, but then I always tell Jay, you know, if I go back to work, I want to have like a no-brainer job. Maybe one that you just kind of punch in and punch out and you're gone, you know, like an 8 to 5 job where you leave at 5 and you don't take any work home. I've never had that before. So that would be interesting. Okay, third question. Colleen Hickey. She asks, "Hello Dee, what a lovely lady you are. Truly joyful no matter what comes your way. You cheer me up. I'd like to know more about your Navajo background and what it means to you in the modern world. Thank you and best wishes, Colleen from UK." Well, thank you, Colleen from UK. I'd like to know about my Navajo background, what it means to you in the modern world. God, you know, that is such... You guys have some... Even though I only have 3 questions, but those are really, really 3 good questions. Oh, man. Okay, so I am a full-blooded Navajo American Indian. Both my parents were raised on the Navajo reservation. My father was raised... He had... He came from a family of 10. Yes, 10. But his parents, my grandparents, didn't want to raise him to stay on the reservation. So therefore, they moved off the reservation and actually moved into a small little tiny little house to raise them to speak English and to have a good education and just to better themselves. That was my grandmother's wishes. Now, on my mother's side, my mother, on the other hand, was born and raised on the Navajo reservation as well. And she had a different lifestyle. She had the more traditional, old school, very traditional Navajo upbringing. You know, she lived in a mud house called a hogan. You know, they had transportation by horse and buggy. They wove rugs and made jewelry and sold their sheep and their livestock, and they sold it to the trading post to make money. She was also then taken away and placed into a boarding school nearby, and she has the most amazing and just fascinating stories. You know, her dream was to jump on Route 66 and come to the Western civilization. And so she had an opportunity with the Indian school program, which is part of like the civil rights, and they had various different programs back in the 60s. And so she up and left, and she came here to California where she met my father. And so they raised my sister and I up here in the city of the Bay Area to better our lives as well. So the intentions of leaving the Navajo reservation in that old way to come into a more modern way here of an upbringing, you know, I'm grateful that they did that, because I think now, looking
looking back at it now, I think that was best for everybody. As my father, he had his own electrical contracting company, so my dad was very well off. My mom did well too. I mean, she got an education here. She is always, you know, had a good career. She had a house. You know, I mean, they just both did very well for themselves, which can make it really difficult and kind of awkward to go back to the Navajo reservation to see our family because, you know, here we are, Americanized in a way. So we go back and we have perms, we have highlights in our hair, and, you know, the other girls are looking at us like, who are, you know, like what? I mean, just the way that we're clothed, you know, just our car was completely totally different than what they would have because God forbid my mom had like a nice Grand Prix at that time, and you know, it was just really awkward. And then we'd be called like the city girl, and we just didn't understand that. But at the same time, it's like we get it, and sometimes it's kind of like we kind of get put down because of it. But at the same time, I don't think I would change it in a way, because I don't think I would become who I am today if I would have stayed, or if my parents would have remained on the reservation. I think there's just a lot of hardship. You know, a lot of our family lived there in trailers without electricity, still no running water. There's still no running water there. You know, I think we have maybe some paved roads there. I mean, it's hard. It's difficult. Going back home to the Navajo reservation, I think I love going there. I love just being around my family. I love going back to where I know it all started and where I came from, who I came from, and I just have that spirit, that energy, and that's my foundation. You know, that's like my foundation of my just my being, mentally, spiritually, just everything. I feel like my heart is there, my soul is there, and I have a lot of pride of going back home. And, you know, it's a little bit different coming back knowing that, you know, oh, you know, she's a city girl. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I might be a city girl, but I'm a successful city girl. And I also am very proud of where my parents came from. I was raised to understand and respect, you know, the ways of the Navajo reservation. You know, I have a lot of our family is in politics. My family on my mother's side are leaders in the Navajo Nation, and I couldn't be more proud of that. And I love the fact that I am a Navajo Native American Indian. I love that. I love the fact that my parents were raised on the Navajo reservation, and through all of their accomplishments to get us here in the city to live the way that we do, you know, that's pretty impressive. And thank goodness for powwows, right? So mom and I always attend nearby local powwows. That's always a plus too, so I can get my fried bread and mutton stew. Okay guys, thank you so much for those questions for my Q&A. If there are any other questions you guys like to ask, please ask them down below. This is your chance. I'm trying to open up more to you guys on my Vlogmas, but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do my mom's evening routine, and I think we are headed to bed. Until tomorrow, you guys, have a good one. Remember to take time for yourself, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Lick her outside because it's really like that dirt.
Oh yeah, especially when it rains.
Oh,
You
really?
want it?
Yeah.
You just want to taste it because it
What?
smells from the clay, from the dirt.
They said it's
after it rains.
Something, some kind of because we just did that because instead of off the ground, like it's on the hose on and it's clean.
Where are you, kitty?
There and look at
What's his name?
Bahajoni Begay.
Okay, can't say that. Bye, Begay. Oh, car.
Whoa, they're coming fast.
They're gonna dust us out.
I know. Did you see her?
I got it on camera. Just kidding. Yeah.
That's scary. I had that on me. I was like, he's not slowing down either.